I'm going to go over a couple questions about consumption and budget sets. And the first question says if we had a certain amount of income, our income is $600, and if the price of good X is $10, and the price of good Y is $15. And then if we assume that we're purchasing 30 units of good X, then how many units of good Y can we purchase? What's the maximum amount of good Y that we can purchase given this income, the prices for X and Y, and that we're already consuming, or we're already purchasing 30 units of X. So the way that I start this is I draw my XY axis, and I say, okay, well, if I'm going to consume all of my budget on good X, how many units of good X can I purchase? And so if I've got $600 and I'm buying good X, and good X costs $10, then I should be able to purchase 60 units of good X. So all of my income being spent on good X at a price of $10 a pop, I should be able to purchase 60 units of good X. And so I can plot 60 units of good X, and then I can do the same thing for Y. What if I spent all of my money on good Y? How many units of good Y can I purchase? And if I got $600 and I'm spending all on good Y and it's $15 a pop, I should be able to purchase 40 units. And so 40 units of Y, we can graph that endpoint, so that's 40. That's equal to Y, the number of units of good Y. That's also equal to our income divided by the price of Y. That's our endpoint. Down here, this was 60 is equal to X, and it's equal to our income divided by the price of good X. And now I can connect those two. That's our budget constraint. So if going back to this problem, if I'm assuming that I'm going to purchase 30 units of good X, well, that says, okay, I know I'm buying 30 units of good X. Now, how many units of good Y can I purchase? And to figure that out, we figure out how much money we spent on good X, and that should be 30 units times the price of good X. So we spent $300 on good X. So how much money do we have left? We had 600 minus 300, so we got $300 left, and we can spend that $300 all on good Y. So we would divide 300 divided by the price of good Y, which is 15, and so that should give us about 20 units. So if we buy 30 units of good X, we're going to have $300 left over, and we spend all that $300 on good Y. 300 divided by 15, that should allow us to buy 20 units of good Y. And so the maximum amount, well, we could buy less if we wanted to. I'm not sure why we would, but if we wanted to buy less, we could buy 30 units of good X, and then we could buy 15 units of good Y, but then we wouldn't be, if we were to draw our indifference curves on here, we wouldn't be maximizing our utility, but it's possible. We couldn't purchase more. If we were already purchasing 30 units of good X, we couldn't purchase any more units of good Y than 20. That's the maximum we could purchase. What would happen now if there was a decrease in the price of good Y? What would happen if the price of good Y decreased? Well, if this price drops to say the price of Y drops to 10, that's going to rotate this budget constraint. And so we would go from being able to purchase 40 units now to being able to purchase 60 units. If the price of Y dropped to $5, then again, as the price of Y drops, we're going to be dividing our income, that's 600, by the price of Y to get the number of units of Y we can consume. So as this price drops, this quantity that we're able to purchase of Y is going to increase. Again, it's going to be rotating our budget constraint, and it's going to rotate it around this point because the price of X isn't changing. If the price of X doesn't change, then we can always buy 60 units of X. And then quickly, if our income doubles and the price of all goods triple, we could figure out what happens if the consumer would be worse off or better off. Again, we would need our indifference curves in there, but if the income is increasing, if it's doubling, if it's tripling, then we change this from 600 to, let's say, 1200. That's going to throw our budget constraint way out here. It's going to shift it out to the right, but then as all the prices increase, whether they double or triple, as all those prices increase, then when we divide our budget by the price of the goods, either good X or good Y, that's going to cause the higher this price is, the more that's going to bring that budget constraint back in. And so if we were to double double our income, it would shift it way out. If we were to triple all the prices, that would bring it back in here somewhere and leave the consumer worse off.